Click the link in the description for your free Amsoil catalog. Before we get started, I'd like to give a quick shout out to some of our friends. The Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. Search for them on Facebook. Central Minnesota Pond Racing. Search for them on Facebook. The historic Lancaster Motel for the ultimate Eastern trail riding adventure. Crane's Snowmobile Museum at 172 Main Street in Lancaster, New Hampshire. The Vintage Snowmobile Club of America Quarterly Magazine. The New Hampshire Snowmobile Museum at Bear Brook State Park in Allenstown, New Hampshire. And lastly, if you decide to advertise with the Vintage Snowmobile Podcast, this could be your advertising message. Well, good evening and welcome to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here. Now, we have a robust lineup of vintage snowmobile entertainment on tap for you tonight. But before we get into all of that, I want to make sure that everything is working properly. So if you can see my face and hear my voice, I'm going to ask you to leave a comment. Please let me know where you're viewing this from and whether you are a first-time viewer or a regular viewer. Now, to our first-time viewers, if this is your first time viewing the podcast, I hope you have a good time with us tonight, and I hope you decide to join us here each and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, this podcast simulcasts to 8 different places across Facebook and YouTube. So wherever you're viewing this right now, just circle back in 1 week's time, and we'll be waiting for you with another fun-filled episode. Pardon me. Now, to our regular viewers who are here week after week, month after month, and season after season, you are the ones who make this possible, and we really, really appreciate that. So we got comments aplenty coming in. Let's take a few, and then we'll get this party started. We've got BCJ Vids saying howdy back to you. Howdy, partner. Stacy and Art Fosler saying, hey, guys, from Platkill, New York, regular viewers from the very beginning, and we very much appreciate that. Ned says, listening on the Benedim channel. Outstanding. The Benedim channel is one of the YouTube channels where we go out to you, and that's been a very wonderful collaboration with Eric at the Benedim YouTube channel. David Lowry says, hello from Alberta. I've really enjoyed this season of podcasts. Thank you for your hard work. Well, thank you for that compliment. We really appreciate that. Ken Crozier says, hi, here in Warwick, New York. Nice to see you, Ken. Alan Gove, our good friend, says, good evening from New Hampshire. Nice to see you. John Sprenger Jr., our good friend, says, good evening from Elon, Wisconsin. Got 10 inches of snow last night. Holy cow. That's great. Mike Whiteside says, good evening, guys. It's almost Friday. Yes. Dave Trim says, hello, everyone from Carthage, New York. Nice to see you. Reese Fleury, our good friend, says, good evening from Tupper Lake, New York, regular viewer. Max Garage is here checking in from Northeast Ohio. Looking good, sounding good, and looking forward to another great show. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Mad Dog says, Randy from Wisconsin, looking and sounding good. Good evening to everyone. Thank you for that. Our good friend Eric at the Benedim YouTube channel says, loud and clear and nearly snowless Camden, New York. Wow, their snow went fast. Not too long ago, they were just buried in it. Ivan Mayu says, loud and clear from Sudbury, Ontario. And Bill Welday says, hello, everyone. Bill from Pinckney, Michigan. Outstanding. Well, let's bring our friends on, get this party started. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Evening, Mike.
I'm doing good, Mike.
Cool deal.
Hey, Rob.
Great to see you both.
Hello, Mitch. Good to see you again. It's only been 4 days.
Good to see you, Rob.
Now, I was thinking before we get started, we were talking backstage just a few minutes ago, and Rob just had the best idea. We were talking about what are we going to do for the final episode of the season, and he said, what about highlights from this past season? And I thought that was a great idea, and I put it to Rob and Midge. If they have favorite moments from this past season, please share them with me, and I'll dig them up and make sure it appears on the podcast. And I'd like to put it out to you, the viewers. If you have favorite moments that you really enjoyed over this past season, please let me know. Say, this time so-and-so was on, or when we did such and such, and I'll try to find a clip, and we'll have kind of a greatest hits of this past season for our season finale next Thursday. And for most of you who follow this podcast, we do take the summer off. But not to worry, we air replays every Thursday night. So if you're used to watching Vintage Snowmobile programming on Thursday evenings, there'll still be something there for you. It'll just be a replay and not live. We also do the Muscle Car podcast over the summer months. So be sure and look for that, and we'll have information on that as we go. But pardon me, I'm still on the tail end of that cold. It just won't go away.
Oh.
Andrew Straco says, great to see you guys. Granville, New York. Nice to see you. Rich Shad says, good evening from Cleveland, New York. Great to see you. Our good friend Steve Dickinson, friends with Midge and I, said we look good and sound good. And also our good friend who's been on here many times, Jim Layton, is here. Cool. Oh, and our good friend Ben from Vintage Mini Bike Lovers is here. He does the Vintage Mini Bike podcast that we put out on this channel along with Rob and I. So if you like those vintage mini bikes from the 60s and 70s, second Sunday of every month at 8 p.m. right here, we do that podcast. Jeff Wesner is in the house saying hello. Nice to see you. Well, there was a couple others here that I missed. Rob Grover, our good friend, says hello from Grand Rapids, Minnesota, regular viewer. And we're going to be looking at some video clips he sent us here in just a couple of minutes. A Midnight Rider is here. Greetings all from Northwest Minnesota. Sounding great. Appreciate that. Okay, that one we've done. Okay, so I think we're caught up on the comments. Do Midge or Rob, either of you have any comments before we start?
Well, it seems like it's been a short season, Mike.
It flew by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're getting to the end of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it just gone fast this year.
Yes. And this
sure.
is our fifth season that we're winding down. This is episode 93. So sometime next fall, we're going to be doing our 100th episode. So if anyone has ideas on how we might celebrate that, any fun things we might do to celebrate that, please share either comments or message me privately. Because somehow, some way, we want to make that a special episode, the 100th episode. But my voice is not holding up very well tonight. So I'm going to get right into the video clips. We saw Rob Grover there in the comments just a moment ago. He shared some wonderful video clips with me. He's a big Arctic Cat guy. He's got a wonderful collection of cheetahs from the 70s. And I just clicked the wrong button here. I'm trying to bring up the video file, and I clicked the wrong button and ended up in a land far, far away. It's taking me a second here to get myself back into. What was that story? The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. They'd go through a closet and they'd end up in some other fantasy land, and then they'd have a hard time finding their way back to the closet to get back to reality. And that's what it felt like when I clicked that wrong button. I ended up in some other realm. But the good news is I do have that video clip. I'm going to click it right now, and we're going to take a look at Rob's cheetah collection. Let's take a look.
Hey friends, Rob here. Here we are sitting 42 degrees in February, losing all our snow. And I thought, wow, what the heck can I do? I can enjoy the snow before it all melts. Really can't go anywhere. So I thought, well, why don't I just take out all my cheetahs? First time they've ever all been all by themselves next to each other. Ah, yes. Love the sound of the Kawasaki and the Arctic truck. It's awesome. Let me shut her down and I'll talk about all these. Well, I hope you guys can see this. It's another low light, cloudy day. Got all the cheetahs out of the barn. 72 through 78. We got 3 72s sitting there, 2 73s, a 74, a couple 75s, a 76, a 77, and a 78. So I'll start right here with this one. This one here, 78 Cheetah 5000. Got this from a friend of mine down in Illinois at the time. He started the restoration on it. I was able just to drive down there, pick it up. He had to move. I just finished up the track, the skid, the seat, and he did the rest. He did an awesome job. I was fortunate enough to get this. I couldn't find a 78. I had to drive all the way to Illinois to get one. And of course, you find them everywhere after you drive that far. But it was worth a 9-hour drive. Beautiful 78. I don't drive that one much myself. I usually let a woman drive that one. This one. I didn't have a 77. Had to drive all the way down to southern Minnesota. The sled came out of Iowa. Didn't have a 77. Looked hard. Couldn't find one. Since then, I found a ton of them. And I would not have to drive that far. But this will end up being a sweet deal of a sled too. It's pretty cool. This next one. Sled itself originally came out of McGregor, Minnesota. 76 Cheetah 4000. So this has the 440 Spirit in it. These two have the 500 Spirit. I can't tell the difference in them. They all fly. These Spirits are awesome. Full restoration on this one. New hood. The hood came out of Michigan. Belly pan came out of the North Metro. The skis, NOS skis, came out of Hibbing, Minnesota. And that NOS seat cover came out of a Artie Cat dealer out of Pennsylvania. So, 155 miles on it since restoration. Love driving that sled. Oh yeah, here we go. This sled here, the most I've ever paid for any vintage sled, but it was so nice that to me it was worth $800. And I've never paid that much for any sled ever for vintage, but I saw it. I was like, we got to have that. As far as I know, we are third owner on it. Last licensed in 1978 in Wisconsin. The sled originally came out of Wisconsin. I got it from the second owner out of North Branch, Minnesota. It was too nice to pass up, so I was like, I got to pay the $800. And I went and got that. And that was quite a while ago. That was 10 years ago, probably. So another nice sled. This one. 75 Artie Cat Cheetah rotary Wanko 295. Oh yeah, love the Wanko. A lot of people ask, why don't you take that one out much? Well, don't take it out much because we don't get a long enough winter to take them all to a ride. But that one's coming out next year. Love those Wankos. I believe I'm third owner on this one. Sled came out of Cocado, Minnesota. Oh, yeah. Now this one I am second owner. 74 Cheetah 340. 340. I was on a vintage ride. Somebody asked me, hey, do you want a 75 Cheetah? And I said, no, I don't want one. I already have one. I already have two. Family members that were on that ride were discussing it, and they said, hey, I think the nephew goes, I think that's a 74 we have, not a 75. Anyhow, family members were discussing it. Wound up talking to them and discovered they only live 5 miles from where I live. So went over there, pulled the cover off, had the original cover. Sure as heck, 74 Cheetah. I was like, oh, yep. I didn't have one. I had to get one. Had to get it. Beautiful sled. Beautiful second owner sled. Lucky on that one. This one. This one here, 73 Cheetah. Started out as a 73 Cheetah 400 Kawasaki in it. I've done some work to this one. This one here had a bent up belly pan on it, pretty good. So I found a belly pan, and it's a fiberglass pan. Nobody knew what it fit. I was like, oh, that looks like a cat pan. Snow Stuff made some replacement pans for a while. I'm like, we're gonna put that on that. We're gonna put that on that Cheetah mod. And we did. Deleted the front bumper. Had a friend of mine do that hood. Wow, and he did a beautiful job. Got hooker exhaust on it, dual HR carbs. Gonna switch over to my Coonies. The HRs have been flawless. Got the full gauge package in it. 142 miles since restoration. I take that one out about once a year. It's probably my fastest, most fun cheetah to ride. My wife ain't too fond of that one, but I love that one. It's pretty cool.
So yeah, if you're just joining us, we've been looking at Rob Grover's cheetah collection. Cheetahs from the 70s. Doesn't get better than that if you're a cat guy. Reactions to that, guys?
I love that. The last one that he just showed, the 73 cheetah.
Yes.
That one there with the black belly pan. Are you kidding me? Wow. I love that. See, the rest of them all have the aluminum belly pan, but that with a black belly pan, wow. That does it for me.
Yeah, that looks pretty sinister.
And the chrome skis, we're there.
Yes. Absolutely.
That does it right there.
Yes.
That would look sharp out on the lake.
Yes, it certainly would.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what are you thinking, Rob?
Did he tell you how many he had? I was trying to count. I think I'm up to 14.
I think it's about 14. I counted at one point. I forget the exact
And I
number.
like the way he keeps saying, gotta have that. Gotta have that. And he's never paid more than $800. I think I paid more than that for my chrome skis on my race machine.
Yeah.
Good collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the tour of the sleds does
man.
continue, and we're going to be looking at that a little bit later. I wanted to break it up. I've got about 17 minutes worth, and I wanted to break it up just in the interest of time, because I like to try to keep my video clips between 5 and 7 minutes when I can. But we're just getting started on this. We're going to look at something else here in a moment. In fact, let's take a few quick comments. I think there's plenty of comments on these sleds. Benedeem's Eric from the Benedeem channel says, nice lineup, but great to see them all out on the snow. Bill Welday says, cat strong. Absolutely. Yeah. And Rob Grover, these are his sleds. He says the fiberglass pan on the cheetah mod. Yes. Oh, and here we go. He says 13 cheetahs.
Yeah.
13.
Oh boy. Yeah, if you love cats, it doesn't get better than
13
that,
cheetahs.
I'll tell you. That is that just
Doesn't get any better than that right there.
no, it sure doesn't. And we're going to look at some more of that collection here in a little bit. But before we do, pardon me, my voice is not holding up tonight. Our good friend Mick Campbell, also a Vermonter, he's been to some of the Vermont shows this winter, and it's nice because he's on the other side of the state. He goes to a lot of the shows that I don't go to, like the Rendezvous, the Bethel show, the Rutland show, things like that. Those are not shows I make it to. So it's very kind of him to send images. So what I do is I take his images, I put them into a montage, put a little music under it, and it looks kind of, but not exactly like this. Let's take a look. So yeah, thank you so much to Mick Campbell for those images. That's a great look at that show. What do you guys think? Anything jump out at you, Rob?
Yeah, nice show.
Is that Mitch's own Arctic Cat right there?
Yes, this last one is his. Yes, it's a 71
Nice.
Lynx. It looks like a rat sled. It might be a Restomod. I don't know.
Rat sled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was quite a collection at that show. I like it when they have everything there. Like I call them barn busters. Ones you just pull out of the barn. There's about 4 or 5 of them there. Like,
Yeah.
Definitely.
And go back one picture. I don't know what those two are. They ski whizzes? The very first orange one with the 2 headlights?
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the place.
Massey Ferguson, maybe.
Yeah, and then the third one might be OMC, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure. I know the first one's Massey Ferguson Ski Whiz.
I don't know.
And Mitch knows where that Polaris is, don't you, Mitch?
Yeah, the Polaris in the middle. That's the TX 340, I think, a TXL, wasn't it? Yeah. TXL.
Yes.
But, yeah, that orange one, I don't know if that's a Massey Ferguson or if it's a Skedaddler or what it is.
Yeah, it might be a Skedaddler. Yeah.
And then there was a picture of a real rusty one, but you seen the snow skis on the front. I don't know if that was original old Polaris with the engines on the back or what it was, because right there, all you seen is the front end of that one.
Yeah, that might have been a Polaris. Yeah.
Polaris, yeah.
Yeah. The cab style looked Polaris to me. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and like those look like they may have come out of a barn. That yellow one there.
Especially that's Skidoo, yeah.
Yeah, and the Snow Traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some old cats. Cat was well represented at this show, I've got to say.
It was. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, there's a Polaris for you, Midge. Right.
I love that little Polaris Colt. Yeah, that's a cute little
back
Colt.
when they had the red seats there. There's 3 of them with the red seats.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a sharp little sled.
Yeah.
They only had that gunmetal blue metallic one year, 72, and they had trouble with the paint staying on. We had to, when I was working for my uncle there at the Polaris dealership, they shipped us a whole bunch of paint, and we had to paint the chassis over on a lot of sleds.
Wow.
They just, for some reason, they didn't treat the metal or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, we ended up repainting a lot of them. But it was a beautiful color. And that was the only year they used that gunmetal blue metallic paint.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
72.
72. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then there's Ray Parento's sleds here. These ROPs, those are Ray Parento's.
The one before that custom blue, that's custom made, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, that Stretch Raider, that was amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Yeah. I don't know how well it would turn, but.
Yeah, that's going to be a custom job.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's some Polarises here.
Some Huskies.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a sled there like mine. A PDC.
PDC, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think yours was nicer shape.
Yes. And I think that's a Snowbug, isn't it?
Yes. They're hard to find, those ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Early Polaris.
Yeah.
And then I wanted
That's
to
a 73 year.
I didn't want to miss this one. This looks like a Panther Resto mod with a independent front and possibly rear suspension. That's pretty cool.
Looks like a Yamaha style, a Yamaha front end.
Phaser front end.
Yamaha Phaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Phaser front end on an Arctic Cat.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
And this was pretty sweet too. Yeah, I was liking that awful well.
With a caboose to match.
I love that style.
Yes. And then we've got a ton of comments that have come in. And then
Somebody
someone
said
asked
they said, Mitch, that's a nice shirt you've got. So
yes, Ivan
I'm
Mayo. There
wearing
we
that.
go. Let me put you full screen.
In case, because everybody knows I'm a Polaris guy, and I'm wearing that tonight for the folks that are Polaris people.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Andrew Strako has posed a good question earlier. I wanted to circle back to it, so I'm going to right now. He's saying, I was wondering about Oscar St. Onge. Is he in the Hall of Fame? Also, did Timberland put out a magazine like Elliott
He should be.
and Hutchins did? Yeah.
Yeah, he should be. Problem is, Oscar is not. We've reached out to Oscar, and that's as far as we just can't seem to get him interested in sending a resume, or if he, I don't know. But Oscar definitely should be in the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
But we just need Oscar to help us out on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if anyone knows Oscar, please give him a little nudge if you would. And then also, did Timberland
tell him that.
Did Timberland put out a magazine like Elliott?
A magazine they did
in New York. Oh, they did. Timberland did.
They did put out a little magazine. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't have one handy, but I think Paul Crane has a couple of them.
They must be collector pieces.
That they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just popping. The other orange one is a ski
Okay,
daddler,
that's a ski daddler.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that about this podcast and going live, the immediacy of, putting questions out and getting answers right away.
Know.
Oh, another confirmation on the ski daddler. Yeah. Oh, yes, we're getting tons of confirmation on that. Someone's liking that Mercury and liking the Husky. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So I'm going to pull this down. And let's see what we have next here. We have... Okay, so this is from the show in Newport Center, Vermont, in I think it was late January. Met up with Dan Fields. He collects some of the old stuff. He likes the really early Ski-Doos and Polarises, and he's going to talk them up. Let's take a look.
How you doing? I'm Dan Field from Grantham, New Hampshire. We're here at the Tatro Family and Country Riders Vintage Show. These are my sleds here. I got a 1963 Skidoo with a Kohler, 7-horse Kohler in it. And it's got some of the accessories on it, accessory bumper and rear bumper, luggage rack. It's got the saddlebag on the back. RV. Got a little toboggan with ice fishing.
Oh, yes.
Memorabilia going on there.
Nice. That takes you back.
Yep. It's a 1964. This has the Rotex. It's got the 9-horse. Virtually basically kind of the same. A little bit different. So on a 63, the fiberglass hoods were thinner. And if you notice, the dash has more of a slant than the 64. Exhaust goes down through in front of the engine on this one. So on a 64, of course, you had an option, and you also could have an option on the 63. You could get the Rotex engine.
Oh, really? One or the other? Yeah.
One or the other, correct.
Sure.
64. You could get a Kohler, but it wasn't. It wasn't a big advertised thing, but you could get that. But like I said, this is a 9-horse. The 65, that's an 8-horse, and that has a Kohler. So this is kind of the last of the Kohlers right there. So these came out of Elliott and Hutchins out of Malone, New York, and those were installed there. They weren't installed in Valcourt. But basically, the same steel body, 65. That's the last year of that look. Because 66, they had the black seats, stripe around the hood.
Yeah. It's a real treat to see 3 consecutive years side by side like this to really do some detailed comparison.
62 would have been a metal cab. It would have been
metal.
Yes, it would have been metal. Would have been narrower.
Sure.
Would have had a Kohler. Could also have got a JLO engine. Small JLO. But my father has these Polarises. That's a 1964. So this is a Pacer. Has an 8-horse with an alternator in, so it gives you the headlight. Spring. You can see spring skis. Do that anywhere else. Single track.
Yeah.
They basically call these a sport line models. That's what these are. They're just riding the north side. This is also my father's 1964 Voyager, so this is a twin track. It's got a 12-horse engine in it. But you also can get this in a twin cylinder Onan engine, which would be the same body, style.
I want to see the twin tracks. Yep, please continue, yeah.
So this is my brother's. It's a 1966 Super Pacer. So also Polaris. Got the 10-horse Kohler. Forward and reverse. Because all 3 of these have the transmission. Go forward and reverse. So how the Super Pacer came about was in 1964, Polaris built their first front engine machine called a Comet. And it was a disaster. It did not work. Had a terrible track, had terrible clutching. So Polaris had to do something. So they called back. A lot of the machines came back. So they brought them back, and they decided, okay, we're gonna make these rear engine. We're gonna put a rear track system on it. And so that's how the Super Pacer evolved. And they also would have come with an 8-horse Kohler. These are great little work sleds, or have fun with them. We've been up Mount Washington. This will be 23rd. I think our 23rd year. Tried to make Mount Washington. They're going to be doing that in March. But they got storage compartments. These 2 have storage compartments in the front. To put things. Hand throttle right here on the dash. Foot operated brake. The Voyager is basically the same way. Not very fast.
Sure.
15 miles an hour. A lot of steel there, but they are definitely a lot of fun to
Very
ride.
capable in the snow.
Yes, they are.
Nice.
Yep, they are.
Well, great. Well, thank you, Dan. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cool. Deal. So yeah, Dan Fields right there. Now he and I are working behind the scenes. He's got some footage from Mount Washington climbs and stuff. I think out in the Allagash and everything when they were testing them. So next fall we're looking forward to having him on. And over the summer, he and I are going to figure out the details of how we're going to make that footage happen. But we've got great plans on that. Reactions to what we've been looking at just now?
I like the history. I like when people know the history, because I didn't know that about those Skidoos. Yeah. So it sounds like that Skidoo was sent to the dealership, and they picked what motors they wanted. The dealership had to pick what motors they wanted to put in it. The machines came out of Valcourt with no motors, and the dealership got to pick what they.
Yeah, they shipped the motors separately, I think, to avoid a tariff or something.
Well, what happened was, the Kohler engine, when Bombardier took the Kohler for the Bombardier across the border, U.S. charged him a tariff on the engine. They charged him, I don't know how much, but $100 or something like that, maybe a tariff. So Bob Bottoms of Timberland Machines contacted Kohler, and he said, is there any way I can buy these engines separately? Can I buy these engines from you? And then he told Bombardier to ship just the chassis down without the engine. And that's how they were able to drop the price on them. It was because of a tariff. So what they used to do is the sled would show up in a crate, the engine would show up in another little crate, and they'd stick the engines on them and put them out the door. Now, when they came through with a Rotax, there was no tariff on it because the Rotax came from Germany right into Valcourt, and actually Skidoo owned Rotax. They bought the Rotax factory. But when they had the Kohler, they were able to buy the engine separately from Kohler and have it shipped in, and that way, like I say, they could sell them for $100 cheaper. That's how that ended up.
Sure.
Now he said about the 62 came through with J-Lo engines. The Bombardier was experimenting with two-stroke engines, and a few J-Los came down here. In fact, I think there was only maybe one or two that came down to Timberland Machines in 62. And Bill Buckland got one of them. It was a 6-horse J-Lo, and he cleaned up in racing with that thing because everybody else had a 7-horse Kohler. So that little J-Lo was blowing the tracks off from everybody, and but then Bombardier decided to go Rotax instead of J-Lo. So
yes, very cool.
That would be pretty rare to have if you could find a 62 with a J-Lo engine.
Yeah.
Yes. Very cool. So let's pull this away. We've got lots more to look at here, and the clock is ticking. Let's see. We've got some more of those cheetahs to look at, if my computer will catch up with me. So yes, here we go. Here's part 2 of those cheetahs owned by Rob Grover. Let's take a look.
This one, I paid $200 for this sled. Sat under a tarp for 5 years. Didn't run well. Figured it need crank seals, whatnot. I decided early winter here, I was like, let's see if we can get this running. All it did was clean the carb, clean the gas tank, fired up. It doesn't like to idle. It might need crank seals, but someone put updated skis on it. But I mean, it's definitely worth $200 for that thing. God, I can't remember where I found that seat. Somebody had an all black seat on it. I found that seat really cheap. I just couldn't believe it. Really nice sled. I got a little work to do to that one. Oh, this one here, 72 Cheetah 440. This sled was actually beginning of last summer on the trailer going to the scrap. There was nothing. All it was stripped down sled. It had a trunk on it, didn't have a seat, didn't have a tank, didn't have a dash, it had skis on it that wouldn't turn. They were seized up. And I thought, geez, I think I have enough parts to save that. And got a donor motor out of a Panther that I paid $100 for. Everything else I had, just parts laying around. Chrome tank, the chrome shocks, and this old hood I had laying around. I'm like, yep, we're saving that one. And I saved it with just spare parts. And I was like, hey, I did not have a 72 440 Cheetah. I was like, let's get one. Let's build one. And boy, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I didn't let that one go. Got some NOS parts, and then it's got some junkyard parts. But she's fun. Got a little work to do to it. The headlight doesn't like to work. I think the lighting coil is out. So I'll get into that. I think these two here were both, I considered junk sleds parts, but here they are in the lineup. So I might pull the motors and crank seal both those ones up, get them nice. 42 degrees today. These Kawasaki's do not like the heat. They don't like it. Those Suzuki's, I've run them as warm as I want, but these Kawasaki's, I try to keep them under 25 degrees on a vintage ride. I know I'm going to struggle if I don't. That's just what nature they are. So Oh, there's this sled. This one. Second owner on. $399 Cheetah. Man, it's a nice second owner original 72 Cheetah. $399. I got it from the original family. I had to drive down across Lake Minnesota to pick it up. Somebody had on one of the sites free 72 Cheetah motor stuck. I went down there. I said, hey, I'll take it. Taking it for parts for that one. So I'll take that. I went down there right away, picked it up. Motor was stuck, but oh man, it was nice. Nice sled. Talking to the guy, when he was 11 years old, he ran into a stump right here. The hood didn't fit right. This was all caved in. The bumper was caved right into the belly pan. Hood sat funny. I pounded all that out. Put on another bumper. So the bumper is a different bumper to come on it. And replaced the top end in it because the rings were stuck bad from sitting. They last ran it in 1984. To me, it was worth going through it, fixing it up. It's such nice shape for an original, such an original sled. And that motor was stuck pretty bad in it. But so she's all good now. So yeah, nice sled for a freebie. Was pretty happy with that one. Then we'll drop over to this one. Might have heard this one running in the beginning of the video. This is a sled that I got off eBay for $141 with a blown motor in it. And I built it to ride the Jacobson Classic Vintage Ride. When I first took the sled on the ride, it didn't make it across the road. And I just had junk parts on it. Made it across the road, it had died. And I thought, I ain't going back until this thing is totally gone through and runs like new. So that's what I did. This one started the addiction. And the Jacobson Classic Vintage Ride started it. And I built it for that ride. As of today, as I speak, it's been on 66 vintage rides in 13 years. It's still fun. I hardly ride it myself. My daughter used to ride it years ago when she lived around here. My wife drives it. Gosh, fun sled. Fun sled. So, yeah, that was an awesome one. So that's probably it for this winter for these Cheetahs. 77 Cheetah down there with the Team Cheetah flag on it. That one is going under the knife this summer. I got a new hood for it. I got a new pan for it. I got a new seat for it. See if I can find some nicer skis. Just gonna do some crank seals on it and freshen it up, and that should be a nice sled. And those three right there will be fully restored. 76, 77, 78 Cheetahs, and they're done by this time next year. So there they are. I've never had them outside next to each other ever. They've been in there, they've been up in there, but they've never been next to each other outside in the snow. So now that I'm made this little video, I think next year we're going to try to run them at all 11 of them at a vintage ride. It's going to be a tough task. It's going to have to be a cold and lots of snow. Going to have to get 2 trailers. But that's the plan, is to run them all at a vintage ride next year. It'll be fun. I get enough drivers. So it'll be fun. So if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you watching. And we'll see you guys at the swap meets and on the trails. All right, catch you later.
Well, I'll tell you, for a cat guy, that sure makes the heart go pitter patter.
That's cool. Wow.
Tell him to sign me up, Mike.
Yeah.
I'll come and drive one for him.
Yes, me too. Yeah, and Rob, if Rob Grover,
you
if you're watching
you
this,
can only ride one at a time.
yes. And if
But if
Rob
he's gonna
Grover is
take-
still watching this, we'd like to have him get some footage when he takes them to the shows.
If he's going to take 12 to the show, he needs some friends to help him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, those are beauties, though. You know what? Really are.
They sure are.
Yeah.
And how does he get those prices? I need him to help me find parts for my SRX.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, one of them he had given to him.
Yes.
Yeah, the one with the
And,
stuck
and another one he paid $141.
Yes, on eBay. Yeah. I'll
Nice
tell you
collection.
yes. I'll tell you, those 72 cheetahs make my heart go pitter patter. Because we had a 72 Cheetah 440 when I was a kid, and that sled has everything to do with why I do these vintage snowmobile videos and all of that. So anytime I see a 72 Cheetah, boy, it makes my heart go pitter patter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were the good old days, my friends.
Yeah.
Oh, and here you
Butterfly
don't have to be a
handlebars.
cat guy to. Yeah, you don't have to be a cat guy to have your heart go pitter patter with slides that nice. Yes. But go ahead, Midge. What were you going to say?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love the butterfly handlebars.
Yes. And those were comfortable.
You sit
Those
right
are nice.
up, you know.
Almost like a motorcycle.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, very comfortable trail riding machine. Yeah.
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 Very much
We
so.
enjoyed the hell out of that Cheetah that we had. Yeah, those were the good old days. Well, cool. So let me take this down because we got lots more to look at here. And next up, our good friend John Spranger Jr. He sends us footage every now and then, and he was out at the show in Saint Germain. I think it was Labor Day weekend, and he actually came across Ray Parento's sleds, his Rups, and Ray Parento, of course, is from Vermont. He lives not too far from me. See him at all the Vermont shows, but yeah, he recognized the sleds, and he got up closer and said, "Hey, I know these sleds. These are from Vermont." So yeah, let's take a look at this rather than me keep talking about it. Let's have a look.
This Memorial Weekend, I'm at Saint Germain, Wisconsin, and the first two snowmobiles I come up to are these beautiful Rups, and they're by Ray Parento from Newport, Vermont. 72 Nitro 440. Here's another one of Ray's, a 73 295. Really, really cool sleds. Here they're dragging a Manta, and I'm here early in the morning, and they're just starting to bring sleds in.
His hood is a little different than that. I'm not sure.
Some nice hardy cats. Snow Pro. Got a drag sled there. Yamaha VMAX.
Yeah, so thank you so much to John Spranger Jr. for that footage. Really appreciate that. He's an excellent friend. In fact, let me see. I think I've got an image of him somewhere. Here we go. He and I have met a couple of times. He comes out to Vermont every now and then, and we try to hook up to get together for lunch. And here's one of those times a couple of years ago. Yeah, thank you so much, John, for that footage. We really appreciate that. Anything catch your eyes, gentlemen?
I like that
great
VMAX.
show. I mean, they had some nice looking stuff there. Yeah, beautiful stuff.
Those VMAXs are nice, yeah. These Exciters, are these both Exciters?
Yeah, one might be a phaser with a shot.
The one on the right's an Exciter, though, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
There's that drag sled.
No, and man, those Rups, what a beautiful sled those Rups were.
That EXT you just passed. I have one of those in my backyard.
Oh, sweet.
Right there.
Just like that. Wow.
Wow.
Those are nice.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my daughter's machine now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was very some Polaris. Oh, this Manta, I believe that's what the heck is his name? Greg Dobrikey from Twin Track World. I'm pretty sure that's his sled. Yeah, he's really big, and he's kind of in the vintage snowmobile space. He's the Twin Track guy, Greg Dobrikey, and he and I collaborate. He lets me use some of his footage on some Sunday nights. I air footage from some of the shows he's covered out in Wisconsin. And yeah, excellent guy. There's some Polaris is there. Yeah, and those are Ray Parento's Rups. Yeah, how cool is that to recognize those and get up closer and say, hey, I've seen those on the podcast. That's cool.
I'm surprised Ray's only got the two of them in there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he's got quite a collection.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we've got comments coming in here. I'm going to pop them on the screen. Yeah, 97 VMAX, yeah. Exciter, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff Wesner says those Yamahas are 5 miles from him. Very cool. Very cool. And Jeff Wesner's been on the podcast many times and will continue to be. We're looking forward to having him on next season when we start up in the fall. So yeah, Jeff, if you've got any video clips or any ideas for any kind of a theme for when you come on, let's be in touch about that over the summer and make that happen. Let me pull this away here. I think we've got one or two more clips to look at here. Let's see where we are. We've got, one more clip. No, this is from not this past February, but the February before, February 24. This was the Crane show, the Crane Vintage Snowmobile show in Lancaster, New Hampshire, 2024. This was the 10th annual show that he had done. So he really wanted to try to pull out all the stops and make it an extra special show. And I believe he succeeded. Let's take a look at this clip here and see if you agree. Well, hello, friends. We are here at the Cranes Snowmobile Show 2024. It's February 3rd, 2024. The 10th annual Cranes Vintage Snowmobile Show in Lancaster, New Hampshire at Cranes Snowmobile Museum, 172 Main Street in Lancaster, New Hampshire. Since it's the 10th annual show, they've pulled out all the stops to make it extra special, and we've got an extra special turnout today. This could be possibly the biggest turnout ever. As you can see, there's a sea of people and a sea of sleds, and it's kind of hard to get around with all the people and stuff, but we're going to do it anyway and try to give you a look at as many sleds as we possibly can. So let's get started. This is Phil Bell's Snowjet, 69 Snowjet. See, these are Ed Stabs and Jeff Mower sleds. These here, huh?
I believe so. Yeah. Ed's got that. What is this?
That TC.
I've never heard of that.
This one here.
Way up, that orange.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's very unique because the fiberglass cab is incorporated right into the metal of the chassis, so you can't remove the cab.
Interesting.
Yeah, never seen anything like that. That's a 66, which is quite stylish for a 66 sled.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there we go. The sights, the sounds, and the smells from the crane show. Reaction to that, gentlemen?
That motorized toboggan, Model C. Was there also a Model A and a B before they came out with C?
Good question. Probably.
It looked like it'd be fun to drive around the field. I wouldn't want to have to climb through a ditch or go up a hill.
He actually did, didn't he, Mike?
Yeah, he rides that around, and you're right. I'm sure over ditches.
I'm not sure.
But go ahead.
And it's really rub steering. Yeah. The tan color one you talked about, Mitch, with the hood and body all one piece. What make was that, and who made it?
Boy, I can't remember now what that was.
Yeah, just
that one that Ed Stab had.
Right there.
Yeah, right in the middle of the screen.
Yeah,
I don't remember the name of that either, but
kind of a brownish color.
Yeah. And the body and hood's all one piece.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then Ed also has that Polaris TC, and in the back there, that gold sled on the far right. I think it's a Cometic.
Yeah,
that's a sweet sled. That's like in mint condition.
That is
right there in the back row.
Yeah,
and I think Jeffrey Maurer owns some of these sleds too. They usually come out together from out
That's
near.
One of the very early Scorpions.
Yes. Oh, Fritz says he likes the music we were playing for that. Appreciate that. Yeah, that is kind of a catchy little tune there. And we get comments coming in. Yeah, thank you guys for the comments. We really appreciate that. Oh, he's thinking it might be a Larson that sled to the one piece.
Oh, you think that's the Larson? Okay.
Could be. Yeah, I know that they bring some Larsons out. I also think that on the far left, that gold one might be a Larson also.
Yeah. Boat company.
Yes.
Does it have a backrest that's leopard skin?
Oh, I don't think so. Let me see if I can get closer in on that. Yeah, I don't know how close we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Looks
But
like
I
a
do have an
two-tone.
interview with him on that sled. Oh, yes, the tan one is a Larson, yes. And it's that one on the other side of it we're not sure of.
So who made Larson? Where's Larson made?
I'm not sure, but I think it's the same Larson boat as the Larson Boat Company.
Larson Boat Company.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure where they're made.
Yeah.
Probably out in the Midwest. Probably Wisconsin.
That's boat company, good with fiberglass. That's why they did the hood belly pan all one piece.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think I don't know if it's the one on the other side of it that's the one piece, that orange one.
Oh,
And
is it? Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a Larson though. But I did get an interview one time with Jeff Maurer on that Larson where he goes into detail. I'll have to find that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the Crane Show is one of the best shows in the East as far as vintage snowmobile shows. Pretty hard to beat that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
this year we had a guy bring 8 fully restored EXTs.
Yes. Oh my God, that was
that was an overload.
Yes, that was magnificent, and I got an interview with him too.
And each one was absolutely perfect, wasn't it, Mike?
Yes, pristine.
Each sled.
Yeah, for a cat guy, that was overload right there. And Bill Welday thinks that orange sled is an Eskimo, and I think he might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one with the one piece. That orange one with the one piece.
I guess we're all froze up. I don't see any movement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody like those Elans and those Ski-Doos, and yeah, just hard to beat that Crane Show for sure.
Sure
and
is.
Where I'm going with that is if you're anywhere near where the Crane Show happens in Lancaster, New Hampshire, that time of year, it's usually the first Saturday of February. Very much worth the trip, even if you have to come stay at the Lancaster Motel and spend the night, make a weekend of it. That Crane Show is worth it.
Yeah, and if you have an old sled, bring it.
Yes.
Yeah. And they pass out some of the nicest looking trophies.
Yes.
They're made out of wood like they used to be. They're beautiful trophies.
Yes. And that building behind, that's the museum, Crane Snowmobile Museum. There's another 100 sleds in there.
Yeah.
So you get close to 100 sleds outside that the exhibitors bring, and then another 100 inside. And they've got food in there. And, of course, Melissa's famous chili. It's Melissa's chili, but I'm trying to make it famous. Everybody I talked to, I mentioned the chili. So if you ever go to the Crane Show, ask about Melissa's chili, and tell them that you heard about it on the podcast. Oh, Mick Campbell, yes, good, yeah, we love those pictures you sent us, Mick. And yeah, if you ever have a chance, Bill, that show is very much worth a trip.
Whereabouts that show located, Mike?
Yeah, 172 Main Street in Lancaster, New Hampshire. And I have a slide for the Crane Snowmobile Museum somewhere right here. Yeah, and the museum is open year-round. It is by appointment only. So if you ever see you're going to be going through Lancaster, call ahead and make an appointment to see the museum. Even just stopping to see the museum is a treat. Oh, so here we go. He says, Bill and I are in central lower Michigan, a little bit of a drive, but it looks like an outstanding show. Yes, definitely. If you ever want to come out east and try something different, that would be the show to do that. To do that. Yeah. All right. Well, we are at the end of the program. Oh, we lost Midge.
Yeah, he was freezing up earlier.
Yeah, we had a difficult connection. I know his audio had a delay too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rob, any closing thoughts before we wrap it up? Or?
You know what? That was a pretty good show. Good selection of snowmobiles and a good variety of shows. And yeah, I like it when people know the history of the snowmobiles, like the guy talked about the Ski-Doos and that Polaris. I think Polaris must have been the first one to have a transmission with reverse. Possibly, that was 64. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my old 10-horse Skidoo, we take the clutch and turn it backwards, get it start, reverse to back up.
Nice. Nice. Well,
But
cool.
a good show.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for being on, Rob. Thank you also to Midge. Sorry he dropped off, but we'll catch up with him next week. And thank you also so much to the viewers for viewing and for making comments. We've got a few quick comments. Oh, and Midge is back.
There he is.
There we
I'm
go.
back.
Yes. We were just doing final comments,
Yeah,
Midge.
I
Any
locked
final
up.
comments?
Oh, there goes Mike. Oh, there you go.
Any final comments, Midge, before we wrap it up?
Oh, you had a good show tonight, Mike.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Cool. Yeah, it flew
Yeah.
by. The hour flew by. That's for sure.
Enjoy
And we had
it.
we had a lot of good engagement from the viewers too. Lots of wonderful comments, and anytime we put questions out there, there's an answer
Yeah.
that comes
Good.
back.
Didn't it ever? Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of doing this.
What
is
you
the
think about it,
immediacy.
Rob?
Oh, I like the variety of the snowmobiles we had on it. Yeah.
Cool
And I like
deal.
it when the people tell the history about that snowmobile. It's
Yeah.
educational.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. It's educational and entertaining, so you call it edutainment.
Yeah.
So with that, before I go with any more lame jokes, I think we should probably wrap it up and give the last word to our friends at Amsoil. But yeah, thank you so much to
Yeah.
Rob and Midge and to all our viewers for hanging out with us tonight. Another fun podcast. We really appreciate it. And next week is our grand finale, our season finale. And we're going to do, this is Rob's idea, we're going to do kind of highlights of this past season. So if you have certain highlights that you'd like to see again, some of your
Good
favorite
idea.
moments of this past
Yeah,
season, please
Is,
let
is
us
this
know.
going to be like a bloopers?
Yeah, if we have bloopers.
No.
But yeah, anybody has ideas for what we can have for highlights of this past season? What were some of your favorite moments? Please message me behind the scenes, and we'll see what we can do to get those clips on. And likewise with Rob and Midge, if you have favorite moments from the season, message me, and we'll try to put it together. Some of the best moments of the season to wrap up the season.
Sounds
And then
good.
starting in April, Muscle Car Podcast.
Sounds
Keep
great,
that
Mike.
in mind. And all right, last word goes to Amsoil. Good evening, everybody.
Have a good night. Great show.
Hello, everyone. This is Rob and Mike. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing good. Mike, yourself?
Very well. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Now, today, we're going to be talking about Amsoil. And in a few moments, we're going to show you how you can get the deepest discounts, free shipping, and free gifts when you order your Amsoil products through us. But first, I'm going to ask Rob to give you a quick description of what Amsoil is and why you should consider using Amsoil products in your motorized vehicles.
Thanks, Mike. Amsoil is 100% synthetic oil. Everybody uses Amsoil for a different reason. Some people like the benefits that Amsoil is warranted for 25,000 miles or 1 year. The reason we can do that is because Amsoil doesn't oxidize. It doesn't form the usual carbons, gums, sludges like petroleum oils do. That's why we can keep it in the engines longer. Petroleum oils never do wear out. They oxidize themselves. That's why they have to be changed at 3,000 kilometers. And Amsoil likes the benefit that you only have to change the oil once a year. That saves some money. Some of the people like the benefit of Amsoil is it's a slipperier type lube. By having a slipperier type lube, it cuts down friction and drag. By less friction and drag, engines run 20 to 50 degrees cooler, better gas mileage. Now, Amsoil says 25% more protection than the industry requires is in the Amsoil bottles. My average customer gets about 10% increase in gas mileage. That's a big savings.
Yeah.
And by cutting down friction and drag, for every 10 degrees you cut down the friction and drag, doubles the life of the engine. So by having the engine run cooler, it makes it last longer. Some people like the benefit of the range of the Amsoil. Amsoil's flash point is 425 degrees, and it pours at 50 below zero.
Wow.
If you ever try petroleum oil when it's 10 below, it turns to honey. And in the summertime, petroleum oil thins out, and once it thins out, that's when it starts breaking down. So Amsoil's an all-season oil, can give you better gas mileage, longer engine life, less maintenance. It ends up being cheaper over a year's time running Amsoil than it is petroleum oils.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Amsoil is available for pretty much any motorized vehicle, anything from lawn equipment, cars, trucks, boats, ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles.
Yep. And a lot of people phone me up and say, well, what's the benefit of our gear lube? Exactly what I told you about the engine oil. It pours in cold weather, it runs cooler, makes the equipment last longer. And they say, well, it's a benefit of the small engine. Same thing. Makes the engine run cooler, last longer, better performance. So it saves on all the applications that Amsoil has available.
Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, let's talk now. Hopefully this has convinced people to think about maybe joining us in the Amsoil experience. Let's talk about some of the discounts and free shipping and how that all happens. I'm going to pop a graphic on the screen. And yeah, by all means, if you want to talk people through how this preferred customer program works.
Amsoil has a number of different programs. One of our main ones is a catalog customer, where somebody can order directly out of our catalog. If they order out of the catalog, they order $100 worth, Amsoil will ship it right to their house. But our best program is our preferred customer. For only $10 for 6 months, you become a preferred customer. You save 25% on all the product. You order $100 worth, they're going to give you free shipping. You don't have to order a whole case. You can mix and match. Say you want 4 bottles of small engine, 7 bottles of 5W30, and a couple of gear loops. You can mix and match. You can order 1 bottle at a time if you want. There's no minimums, no maximums. By being a preferred customer, you save over 25% on all the products you're going to buy. Amsoil sends you extra gifts, a $5 gift certificate on your birthday, $5 when you renew your account, and stuff like that. So it's a good way to save on some of the products you want to buy.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it's an incredible value. And this is the deepest level of discount that anyone can get when ordering Amsoil. Is that correct?
It is. It is.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's take people through the step-by-step experience of placing an Amsoil order. Then that would include signing up for the preferred customer preferred customer program, so they can receive those deepest levels of discount. So let's go to the website. This is what the website's going to look like. These are some screenshots. Once you go to amsoil.com, there's a link in the description, or you can just type that into a browser, amsoil.com. This is the page you land on. At the upper corner of the page there, you see how I've circled in red. That is the link to click, the Join Now link. That will take you to the Preferred Customer Program page, where you can take advantage of all of these discounts and free shipping and everything that we've just been talking about. This is what that page looks like. In the lower right, you're going to click Join Now. This will pop up. You select the duration you'd like, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, and click Add to Cart. Now, once this pop-up goes away, you'll be back on the main page. And the upper left, you'll see where I've got that red arrow. It says Shop. Now you can start shopping for products, and on your very first order, you're going to get these discounts and the free shipping as long as it's over $100. You'll get all of these benefits right away. So once you click Shop, it's going to take you to the product page. There's different types of oils, lubricants, so on and so forth. For the benefit of this exercise we're doing now, I'm just going to click motor oil. It shows different types of motor oil. Let's click gasoline. Now this takes us to an item. It's their synthetic motor oil. And you can see the item there, and there's choices for different viscosities. But take a look at the price. Let's take a closer look. Let's zoom in. But if you've joined the preferred customer program first, you're going to automatically get the deepest levels of discount. That's what we're looking at here. You're saving $3.80 on that quart of oil. Instead of paying $16.29, you're now paying at $12.49 for that quart of oil. That is the deepest level of discount you can possibly get. And then you just add the quantity that you'd like. You select any other items that you're thinking about, add them to the cart. And once you click Add to Cart for the final time, you're going to see this come up at the top of the screen. It's going to show your items and your the total that you're at so far. Pardon me. And then you just click View Cart in the upper right, and that'll take you to your cart. Take a close look here at the upper right. That blue box shows that you're getting free shipping. You're eligible for free shipping on this order because it's over $100. That little yellow box shows that you've got the preferred customer membership on your order. That gives you the deepest levels of discounts for the next 6 to 12 months. And then below that, you've got the items that have been selected. For the exercise here, I selected 9 quarts of the signature series, but that brings us up over $100 for the free shipping. We're saving $34.20. And if you're ready to finish, you click Checkout Now, and that takes you to this screen here. If you haven't signed up with an Amsoil account at this point, just click in the lower right to create an account, create a new account. It's going to ask you for some basic information, name and those types of things. Now let's take a closer look. You'll see this gray shaded box. This is a very important box. This is going to ask you if someone has referred you to Amsoil. And if so, please enter my name. My name is Mike LaPierre. It's spelled right there on the screen for the correct spelling. And also the referral number, 304-555-94. That's how you make sure that Rob and I get credit for this. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have signed up for Amsoil under Rob. So when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. So if you enjoy these podcasts that we're doing, this is a wonderful way to support the podcast, because when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. And the commissions I make go directly toward offsetting the cost of doing these podcasts. So I thank you in advance for using my referral number. I very much appreciate it. And once you've done that, you just go into the next screen to enter your payment information, and you're done. Now, once you've placed your order that's over $100, and that order includes your Amsoil Preferred Customer Program, you are now eligible to get a free DVD from myself. Now, this is going to be either a muscle car DVD or a vintage snowmobile DVD. Use the email address on the screen, wkspodcasts@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know which DVD you would like me to send you, the muscle car or the vintage snowmobile DVD, and I'll get that right out to you. As you're typing in that email, in the subject line, be sure and type in capital letters "free DVD requests" so it stands out as I'm checking my email, and we'll get that right out to you. So I guess the last thing, Rob, that we wanted to talk about is if someone is considering Amsoil as a business opportunity.
Yes. If anybody has a retail or a commercial account and they would like to buy directly from Amsoil, just send Mike a line. He'll show you how to set up and you can buy directly from Amsoil. But if you are interested in starting your own part-time business, a part-time business that can grow into a full-time income, Mike and I will show you the Amsoil marketing plan. Amsoil has a large selection of products that cover almost every application. So it doesn't matter if you're into snowmobile, boating, or ATVing or hot rods, we have an oil for every application. It's a fun type business that I really enjoy doing. Where else can I go and have fun and make money doing it? And Mike and I are here to help you all the way along. If you need any help on how to promote or to find new accounts, we're here to help you.
For sure. So when you sign up under that number, this 304-555-94, you're getting Rob and I as a team. Now, Rob has been doing Amsoil for 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. So he knows every aspect of this business, and he knows all of the ins and outs of the products. So he'll be able to help you with any kind of product questions or any kind of questions to show you the different business models that you can do with Amsoil. And then the other thing that you get when you sign up under me is I've got a strong background in social media. So if you need some coaching on how to generate Amsoil leads using Facebook and YouTube, I'm happy to coach you with that when you sign up under Rob and I. You get both of us as a team to help you, to coach you, to support you, whatever you need to get you off and running with this business and having fun with it. Like Rob said, it's an enormous amount of fun. If you're like Rob and I and you enjoy going to any kind of boat shows, car shows, motorcycle shows, snowmobile shows, anything with a motor, you like going to those shows, those events, those races, this is a great way to turn that into a income opportunity for you.
Yes. And just by wearing my Amsoil hat at one of these events, people come up and ask me about Amsoil. People don't know where to buy it, and I'm there to help them, show them where they can buy the product. Perfect.
Well, cool. Well, this is great. Any final thoughts, Rob, before we wrap it up?
Amsoil's a fun business. Amsoil's been around since 1968. It was the first synthetic oil to be AI approved.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's very early in the game too, isn't it?
Yes.
For sure. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for viewing. Hopefully, we've gotten you excited as we are about the Amsoil products. We'd love it if you could join us either as someone who uses the Amsoil products or to join the Amsoil team as a business opportunity. And we thank you so much for viewing. Have a great day.
You have a good day.